Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we are talking all things yoga retreats and specifically what to pack when you go on a yoga retreat. I run yoga retreats all over. I have 3 coming up in Spain, so travelling from the UK to Spain. So it's that type of distance we're focusing on today, maybe 3, 4 or 5 nights getting on a plane but not going so far. Of course, if you are staying in the UK or the country in which you live for a retreat, or even if you're going long haul for a couple of weeks, hopefully there will still be some tips for you here as well. I'm not going to go through everything today. What I'm going to say is, when you're packing to go away for 3 or 4 nights, there are obviously going to be things, whether you're going away on a yoga retreat or anywhere else that you're going to pack. I'm thinking things like medications, your glasses, your sunglasses, all that type of stuff. So we're kind of taking that as a given that there will be a base of things already that you know what to take with you. And we're going to start with the physical case or bag that you take with you. So for those of you that don't know, short haul flights such as Ryanair, EasyJet, that type of thing have fairly recently changed their baggage allowance. So for free, you used to be able to take something that looked like this. Sadly now, you can only take something that looks like this. Now, I travel frequently very, very light. So if you are wanting to make the most of that free baggage allowance, you can fit it all in a backpack. You can buy some from Amazon where they're really specifically for the dimensions, so you can get the most impossible. But to be honest, this is a standard backpack and this is about the size. So first thing is check your dimensions of what you can take with you, decide if you want to upgrade or not. One of the things that may help you with that decision is yoga equipment. So when you come away on one of my yoga retreats, which are tonic luxury yoga retreats, we provide all your equipment for you if you're going abroad. So that means you get a mat, you get a block, and if you need a strap, you get a strap as well. So check with the retreat provider if equipment is provided. If it is not, you have a couple of choices. The first is simply just to use a towel. Depending on what surface you're on, if you're practicing on the beach, you're going to be fine on a towel. If you're in a hard studio, you're going to need a mat. So you can either take a full 4-inch regular yoga mat like this. A lot of them do fold down. You can just about cram them in your case, or you can buy, did I say inch? Millimetre, sorry, inch should be like that. Or you can buy 2mm yoga mats, which are the travel ones, and they do fold in really, really small. I've not got one to show you because personally I don't love them. They're not that comfortable because they are really, really thin. But if you're travelling and you need to take a yoga mat with you, that is probably your best option. For the sake of a few days away, you can probably manage without your block and your strap unless you are carrying injury. And I know certainly I managed to adapt using many things instead of a block, such as like a water bottle or just anything that is roughly that shape. So check with your provider, your retreat provider, regarding equipment, and then that should guide you. Do you need a bag that is big enough for a mat or not? Okay, the next thing I get asked about quite a lot is clothing. And again, this really depends on the type of retreat you're going on and where you're going to be. So the ones I have coming up this year in September, October, there are bars and restaurants in walking distance. Now our retreat is all inclusive and you don't have to leave the villa if you don't want to, but perhaps you might get on really well with the group and want to go out all together for the evening. If that's the case, you're probably going to need something more than your yoga clothing. So what I really recommend, I sell these at festivals, is these like little dresses that just fold up. Hopefully you can see from here. You can wear them various ways, but they always hook round like this, and then you tie them in. And these ones are made out of sari material, so they're silk, and you can literally scrunch them up like this, and they are going to arrive in your case as good as new. You can also get trousers in similar material to this and little tops as well. It is fab stuff for travelling with, not just for yoga retreats, but just whenever you're going anywhere hot. So if you want details of the ones I sell, please just drop me a message. But anything like this is absolutely fantastic. So you're going to need clothes for yoga for the day. Obviously, if you're going somewhere hotter, shorts tend to be better, like cycling short type things, or more flowy trousers. But most retreat providers will make sure that you're practicing either in an air-conditioned studio or first thing in the morning or a bit later in the evening, so you're not in that really peak sun. So if you want to wear something like I'm wearing now, just a classic pair of leggings and a top, you should be absolutely fine. So think regular yoga clothing along similar lines to what you'd wear at home, or something a bit more loose fitting or shorts. And then of an evening, just one or two, maybe slightly more dressy things, a dress, a skirt, something like that, and some flip-flops or some sliders. And that really should be you all set. The only thing to bear in mind is obviously, even if you're practicing in the morning or the evening, it's going to be a little bit hotter than at home, so you might want to just bring a few more bits with you because things might get a little bit sweaty. So hopefully that covers clothing for you. Let's talk liquids or toiletries. So you have many options when it comes to your liquids. What most people do when they travel, sorry, I can't get comfy. What most people do when they travel on a retreat for 3 or 4 nights in Europe is they tend to do something like this, which I'm sure all of you are aware is your classic carrier bag with your liquids that are less than 100 mils in them, so like your mini liquids. And that should see you through for a few days. So to be honest, for most people, that is your easiest option. The other option you have, which not a lot of people are aware of, is you can pre-order your toiletries from Boots I know certainly in the London airport you can do it, and then just go and collect them. And they're going to seal that bag up so you can have that as a separate bag to your carry-on and have full-size stuff. So that tends to work well for things like suntan lotion if you think you're going to need a little bit more than 100 mils. Oh, just a little side note on your bag with your 100 mils, you can only have enough to fill one bag or a maximum of a litre, so no more than 10 100ml bottles. Quite frankly, how you would get 10 100ml bottles in here, I do not know. But just be a little bit aware that you can't just have loads and loads and loads of 100 mils. It's up to a litre. Okay, so you can pre-order from Boots or whatever pharmacy is at your airport. The other option you have, of course, is you can buy it out there. Now, if you're coming out with me in September or October, you have a supermarket in walking distance. So you might feel like, oh God, I don't want to get there, and the first thing I do is have to go and buy deodorant, suntan lotion, toothpaste. But it is an option if you want cheaper and larger sizes. If you're coming away with me next year, however, to Spain, we are in the hills, we're in the middle of nowhere, it's so beautiful. So sadly, that won't be an option for you. So again, you might just want to speak to your retreat provider about, is there somewhere I can just go and grab a suntan lotion in walking distance? Because there may well be. In terms of travel documents, okay, at the moment, bear in mind YouTube dates really quickly. I'm only talking about what is happening right now for my retreats going to Spain, okay. So obviously you need your passport, point number one. And then we start to look at things like COVID, passports, locator forms, all that kind of stuff. Now, it's a really, really fast-moving situation. I would say if you have not heard from your retreat provider 3 weeks before your retreat as to what documentation you need in relation to COVID, get in touch. If you have had your COVID vaccine, I would say always carry your COVID passport just in case. Sometimes Spain require locator forms and sometimes they don't. So it's really quite a quick moving situation. So hopefully your retreat provider will point you in the right direction. If you're coming away with me, I will let you know in plenty of time to sort out what you need. Okay. And really, I think those are the main things. I'm often asked about money as well. Again, this depends on what is included in your retreat. So in ours, you get your food, you get a pre-dinner drink each night, you get nibbles throughout the day. So really you're well set up that you don't need to be bringing loads and loads of cash with you. I like to think, once you've paid your balance, you can think, oh. However, there are a few additional extras you might want. As I said, on these retreats, we have a supermarket in walking distance. So if you want some wine or some beer with your dinner, you can go and grab that. And if you want, we're 5 minutes away from a beach, as many retreats may be. So if you want a lounger for a half day, a full day, a couple of hours, you might need some cash for that. So obviously either bringing euros, or I really rate the Revolut cards. I think there's Monza cards as well. All those currency exchange cards are brilliant, but you should not need a fortune. It's always nice to have a little bit of extra. The other thing that may cost you a little bit more is your airport transfers. So again, I sent out for mine some suggested flights. So if you've booked onto those, you get a complimentary transfer, but not everyone will do that. So just find out how much that transfer is going to be and how to grab a taxi if needed. So those really are the main bits and bobs that, you might have a few question marks over. In summary, I would say if you need to take a yoga mat, grab a travel one, but just be prepared for the fact they're not that comfortable, but only a few days, you'll be fine. Liquids, just make sure you're following the guidance. Some clothes that pack up quite small. Remember, have a few more bits and bobs because you will get sweaty, and it's always nice to have something if you maybe plan a what's the word? I want to say ad hoc, but that's not the right word. When you think of something on the spur of the moment and then go out, you might want an outfit for something like that. And make sure that your COVID stuff is up to date if you're going to need it. Passport, tickets. I always say with tickets, please print them off. Don't just rely on your phone, because you never know. It's always best to have a hard copy of your tickets. So hopefully that has been helpful. If you've got any specific questions about what to take with where you're going, I've been to many places, so hopefully I might be able to help. Please just drop them in the comments below and I will do my best to get back to you. If you're coming away with me soon, I really look forward to welcoming you. If you'd like any details about the yoga retreats I run, please get in touch. And don't forget to like, subscribe and ring the notification bell. I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye bye.